Good morning, my fellow nerdlings. It is I, the OGGM, coming to you mostly live at 8:17 in the morning here at a rainy Site B. It is the 16th day of November. We are in day Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 of this sort of rain, fog, gloom, don't know what to call it, that we've been having in Ventura, which is just killing my headache and my allergies. And since my cat does not like the rain at all, very tired. But far be that for me to stand in the way of my duty of reporting the tabletop role-playing game news. And on Thursdays, we turn our eyes to our neighbors over in Calabasas and Darrington Press to see what's new in the world of Critical Role, Candella Obscura, or whatever it's called, and most importantly, Dagger Heart. So before we get to the Dagger Heart and this week's Critical Role controversy, let's check the numbers. All right, heading over to Twitch. Let's see. The last time they posted on Twitch was 7 days ago. That was Campaign 3, Episode 77. That one is getting a lot of negative press. Mercer is being raked over the coals again for this one because of the toxic fan base. We'll get into that in a second. And that had 243K views. Good for them, I guess. Not, compared to the last episode of Four-Sided Dice, was had 75. Moving on to YouTube, I think at this point in time, YouTube views are higher than Twitch views. I wonder why. We had Campaign 3, Episode 77, with 325K views. We had Four-Sided Dive, Episode 18, with 217K views. We had Myths, Season 2, Episode 12, with 18K views. Guys, just stop. Okay, Myths is not working for you. We had the announcement that the Candella Obscura rule book was available now because I guess they assume people forgot that the just in time for Halloween, November 14th release date was yesterday. That got 25K views because I'm going to assume almost everybody already knew. We've got a character creation video for the release of Candella Obscura yesterday with a couple of the members of the crew talking us through how to make a character for Candella Obscura on the YouTube. This got 62K views. And we got Myths Season 2, Episode 13 with 10K views. Again, just Myths, drop it, dudes. Whatever this was supposed to be is obviously not working. Okay, moving on to the actual Dagger Heart page at the Critical Role Darrington Press website, which has not been updated in 3 weeks, but we do have the playtest. So if you want to take the Dagger Heart playtest, you can click this link right here, but damn, and it'll take you over to this. And I've already done the first page, which was entering one of my fake emails. Briefly describe your role in tabletop role-playing games. Well, I'm a mediate contact creator. What else do I do? What is my role? TTRPG YouTube personality, TTRPG reviews, game master. How many of these am I spelling wrong? Game master, player, the OGGM's adventures at YouTube.com. Can they contact me about media coverage? Of course you can. I will sell out. Haven't you heard me say that? How do you intend to find people to play with? Well, considering I live in a town where there are no gamers, I guess I will be using the interweb. Discord. Where do you plan to play? Remotely over the internet, probably. We would love to know a little bit about your experience with tabletop role-playing games. I have never played a tabletop role-playing game. I used to play tabletop role-playing games, but I haven't recently. I play tabletop role-playing games sometimes. I regularly play tabletop role-playing games. I have played Dungeons and Dragons. I have played a role-playing game that is not Dungeons and Dragons, and I play about, well, right now, not very recently. So, what's your experience with actual play? I sometimes. It's script. Oh, yeah. What describes your best experience with Critical Role? Negative. I have seen a few episodes. Are you willing to sign an NDA? Sure. Can we continue about testing? Sure. Would you like to stand up for the... I already am. Is there anything anyone haven't asked you yet? What do I want on my sandwich? There we go. We filled it out. That is it. Now, we got some controversy because Critical Role fans are unbelievably toxic. So let's get into that. There is no logical reason from what I little of this I understand that this would happen. Other than something Critical Role fan, something Mercer, something. I don't know. From what little I understand of this controversy, it is an utterly pointless and unnecessary controversy over a magic item of all things. Mind you, I have no basis for this other than what little I've read, and I'm going to try and break it down to as simple as possible, because if you're like me, you really don't understand what's going on right now in Campaign 3, and even if you do, you probably need a much more cut down take on it. So this is something to do with the Campaign 3 story arc and the destruction of all the old gods, old magic in Tal'Dorei, which again adds, relevance to the theory that Mercer is cutting all ties with anything in his game that has any attachment to Wizards of the Coast, like using Wizards of the Coast Dungeons and Dragons gods, like, I don't know, not Tyr, because anybody can use Tyr. What's the Dungeons and Dragons? Well, blah, 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 whatever. Lathander, Pelor, stuff, and Titans and magic and the NPCs and connecting the player characters to the previous two and killing off PCs from Campaign 1. So apparently, magic item was found. A magic item had something to do with the plot and was somehow vaguely connected to fire. And one of the player characters apparently does fire magic. I think it's Lorenda, the necromancer warlock character. So the fans were all like, well, it should go to her because she does fire magic, and this is a fire thing. Right? So they were all like, hey, yay, we love her, give it to her. And then I guess she said, I don't want this. And another player was like, well, if you don't want it, yoink. And I guess this character is named Abraham. Is that Travis's character? Again, I don't know. I'm just going by the little bit of information I have here, and I have no connection, but it just goes to sort of further my never-ending opinion of the negativity of the Critical Role fan base. But whatever, the Critical Role fans thought magic items should go to player character A. Player character A decided that it didn't fit her for whatever reasons. So player character B just swooped in and went yoink and took it, and the fan base just went rabid. And now they're attacking that player. They're attacking the other player for not taking it, and they're attacking Mercer for letting it happen. Because in their minds, that magic item had to go to that player's character because something fire. And when it didn't, and when the other player character was playing their character and went yoink, I'm taking it. And Mercer even apparently gave him a warning in his usual Mercer way. Are you sure you want to do that? And this character's name is Abraham. And now the fan base are like, fuck you, dude. We're going to come over to your house and fucking kill you. That was supposed to go to the other character. And, the non-fan base who are reading this are going, what the fuck, dudes? You just now desperately need a reason to shit on Critical Role? This is utterly silly. She said she didn't want it. So who cares if somebody else took it? Also, in Critical Role controversy, the review copies of Candella Obscura is out because, as we know, Candella Obscura, just in time for Halloween, came out yesterday. And the reviews are saying this is the best horror tabletop role-playing game of all time. Despite the fact it's not a horror tabletop role-playing game. And it has never been advertised as a horror tabletop role-playing game. It is, well, I mean, it's Carnival Row, the Amazon show Carnival Row, the role-playing game. Okay, it's Fays and the Other World and Victorian England, but having steampunk technology, and it's not really a horror campaign. It's more of an urban arcana campaign, which has horror aspects. I definitely wouldn't say it's the best horror role-playing game of all time. I mean, you know, it's hard to say what is the best horror role-playing game of all time because trying to do horror in a role-playing game is already so hard. And while several of the games can talk you through the emotional and mentality of that, you know, Call of Cthulhu, Chill, Beyond the Supernatural, you know, Bureau 13, Stalking the Night, Fantastic, even It Came from the Late Show. There's only so far these can go. At the end of the time, you know, making a horror game work relies on the players and the GM. So it is, I mean, in this guy's opinion, sure, it's of the horror role-playing games you are aware of and you've actually bothered to read or play, in one day you have just made the connection that this is the best horror role-playing game ever made, despite the fact that it is not a horror role-playing game, and you are not. Where's your scientific study of comparison? How many Call of Cthulhu games have you played through? How many, you know, all the other hundreds of horror role-playing games have you played through? And again, the rules don't matter. It doesn't matter how well, you know, Candella Obscura, powered by the Apocalypse Light, is written. Horror doesn't work unless the DM and the players all buy in. So it could be the best system ever and not work at all. It could be the worst system ever and totally work. It all depends upon the buy-in. So I get you want to make your YouTube cheap heat points by saying it's the best horror great game ever, and then expecting people to either go, oh yeah, I totally agree with you despite the fact that I've only had it for a day, or I totally disagree with you, dude, and I'm gonna fight you because, you know, how, like me, they're saying, where's your basis of comparison? You've had it for a day. To keep it around for a year, run a couple campaigns, you know, compare it to the other horror role-playing games before you just got saying. But far be it from Critical Role and Darrington Press to not be associated with some form of controversy and toxicity. It goes hand in hand. That is the benefit and disadvantage of being what Darrington Press Critical Role is. And there are definitely times when I feel bad for them. And Lord knows I have been one of the worst critics there is for Critical Role. But, you know, it's grown on me. I'm not as hard as on them as I used to be. I still think it's scripted. You know, I still understand that they're doing this program and, you know, what their goals for the program are. But the toxicity of the fan base there's never excusable. You know, and this is just another example of, oh my God, how dare something happen in somebody else's game that I didn't want to happen, and a magic item that I thought should go to player A goes to player B because it's a role-playing game. So instead of just accepting that and trusting Mercer to run with the story, now that the magic item is in player B's hands, they just attack Mercer. They attack the player of character A, and they attack the player of character B because, oh, we didn't want this to happen. That's just dumb. That's just dumb. All right. So that's the news or lack thereof for our friends over at Darrington Press. If you want to take the survey, the link is down below, and you can get signed up for the Dagger Heart playtest. Dagger Heart is currently listed as the #1 most anticipated tabletop role-playing game of 2024 that isn't Dungeons & Dragons, so we will see what happens. It's getting close to the wire, Mercer. So if I'm going to look over those hills and sort of point in the general direction that I think Calabasas is from my house, which is kind of to the east, northeast from where I am. No, let's see. That's east. That's south. All right. So from my window, Calabasas is southeast of where I am. Over those hills, you can't see them, of course. But hey, Mercer, support me, buddy, because I talk now more about your product than anybody else, including you. and give us a hint at what's going on with Dagger Heart. Till next time, I'm your Dagger Heart guide with the Dagger Heart Beats, asking you to take a moment and subscribe to my YouTube channel because it's Christmas. And I'll talk to you all later. Toxic.